everyone. Hey guys. So tonight I have a special guest. I have Jeff Konkel, and he is known and been seen with Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
So Jeff says he's never really done any podcasting, so I'm feeling privileged here to have him on on this live with me. Jeff, you want to
Yeah.
go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about your how you got started with everything that you do?
Oh, well, for a long time I was building paranormal gear, and I was just doing it by myself for a long time. And then a buddy of mine, Christopher Maggard, you guys might know him. He's on here. He's been on
Okay.
pictures a couple times with Zach. But me and him were best friends when I first started Facebook. And he told me about some guy that was in my town that was a paranormal investigator, and she said, "Oh, you got to hook up with him. He's a great guy," and blah blah this and blah blah that. So I hit out to him, and his name was Scott Grunwald, and I became his friend, and we became best friends. And he actually was because he had passed away a couple years ago. He was best friends with Zach, and Zach just happened to see a piece of gear that I had built online, and it was really strange. He was talking to Scott and asking Scott if he knew anybody who built, paranormal gear. And he goes, "Well, yeah, it just so happens I have the guy sitting right next to me." And he goes, "Okay." He goes, "Great." He goes, "I'm going to get in contact with him." And so I didn't know about when he was going to contact me. I didn't expect it. The next day, he gave me a call because I guess Scott gave me my number, and I was like, "No, this isn't Zach." I started laughing, and he goes, "No, truly, this is Zach." Um, and he wanted me to go on one of his shows, and he goes, "I wanted me to bring my piece of gear that I had made, which was the XLS, and showed it off there." It was still in. It was like 2019, and it was one of those pieces of equipment that I had made, but I had trouble with the power, and it was glitchy a lot. And so I was working around that, and it was like still in beta when I took it, and caught some amazing evidence at this place. And then he called me about a week later and wanted me to go on another one. A Joshua Tree Inn was after that. We went on that, and the freaking piece of equipment blew up.
Oh no.
And so I had to revamp the whole thing out. Something, I don't know, it was something with the power system, and revamped it and hadn't had problems one since. And then he called me up after that show about a week later and asked me if I wanted a job.
I bet you were like blown away by
I was
that.
like, and he goes, "Yeah, you." He goes, "We could use you." I said, "I need a new tech guy. I need a new camera guy who can take care of all the equipment and, you know, build my gear." I said, "Not a problem." I said, "When do I start?" Next, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. I got to give 2 week notice to the one I'm on right now. And he goes, "No, not a problem, not a problem." So after that, it's been all the way uphill ever since.
So you started with those guys back in what, 2019?
Right at the end of 19, yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. So what got you started in the paranormal?
Ooh. That's a long, long story. Short version is 12 years old, haunted house in Illinois. Um, a lot of bad things happen in the house. A
Yeah.
lot of therapy afterwards. The whole family.
Oh wow.
But
Wow. I take it you had some poltergeist activity?
yeah, a lot of it. It was a lot. A lot.
What was your first piece of equipment that you built?
Oh my God. Actually, it was a buddy of mine, Dave Miller, sent it back to me. Wow. It was called the Static Hand Pod. It was a piece of equipment that only worked with the electromagnetic field in your body. If you set it on the table or anywhere else, it wouldn't work unless you held it in your hand. And it was a pretty cool piece of equipment. I mean, it doesn't work now. It's basically in a box sitting on a shelf somewhere. But yeah, that's my first piece of equipment.
Wow. Huh. So, what is your main goal with this equipment? Are you just are you trying to like build things that are different than what's out there now? And
Well, for me, it was my personal goal because I wanted to be able to visually see what was there. Um, Everybody does all the voice and all of the SB7 and all of the audible stuff. Mine was basically visual. I want,
okay.
I wanted it all visual. I wanted to be able to capture what we were seeing or hearing, like walking. I wanted to be able to capture it. So I'm more of the visual type of guy. Any type of camera system that I could build to catch whatever and actually see it, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm the visual guy.
Yeah, when I've seen you on the episodes, I always see you with the SLS camera following, and you guys seem to get some really good stuff with that. Now, did you say that you've done something different with the SLS camera, the one that you use on the show?
Well, I have two XLSs. I have the XLS and then the XLS2. I have not shown that one off much, but that has to do with AI. So
Oh, really? That's
uh,
cool.
me and Jay used it at, I think it was the Hotel Congress, and that's when we caught the face coming across the screen, the child's face and the smile. I don't know if you guys ever seen that episode, but that was the one episode right there that blew my mind.
Which one was that again, Jeff?
I think it was Hotel Congress. I can't remember that. There's been so many. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know. I've seen them all. I've seen them all.
Me and Jay were in the basement, and we were communicating with the children, the ones that were, from that schoolhouse. And Jay asked it to come over towards my equipment, and sure as shit, caught something. It was just an amazing, and wow, yeah. The feeling that I got from that was like I about sat down and cried. That's how, like, wow, because I didn't expect the smile to come out of the child's face, you know, and that.
Well, there's this. I think you might be talking about this. I don't know. Are you talking about the image? It looks like it's got like it almost looks like it's appearing on a TV. Are
It
you
was
talking about
it was a
that?
total face. It was a total face. All it,
Yes, I remember seeing that.
and then it smiled as it turned to the left, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah,
Yeah, I remember seeing that. So that was really that was cool to see that. But then again, I think you guys have captured a lot of cool stuff out there.
yeah, we have.
What would be your favorite what's your favorite episode?
I don't know if I have a favorite one. The scariest one would be the juvenile facility in LA, Dos Paldinos or Dos, yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's when that a lot of stuff happened there, and I was very, very much yeah, messed up. I still have nightmares about that. So
So my sister is finally going to join the party. This is Chastity. I'm going to warn you. I never know what my sister's going to say, so just fair warning. With her.
let me come and cover my face. Okay.
As a matter of fact, since you grabbed that mask, you know, that's one of your newest piece of equipment you're working on?
Yeah, I'm working on a. It was basically just for me, but then I was building a robot head. It was all in the beginning. It was just going to have some fun. And I said, well, what if I use this as like a trigger object and set it alone in a room and let it work off, EMF or static? It works with the servos, what direction the EMF is coming to. It'll make its eyes move. It'll open its mouth. It'll communicate. It'll blink. It'll actually talk. It'll have pre-programmed words in there that, like, who are you? Why are you here? The whole 9 yards, the basics. And then it'll have a recording device underneath the neck towards the ear that it'll be able to record back on the same frequency you're giving it. So
that's pretty cool. Is that something you see being used on a episode coming up?
This thing is still being built. It could take a while. So I don't know. I'm going to try.
Okay.
There's a lot of programming involved and a lot of other things involved. Before I send it out there, I have to make sure before it gets on set that it works correctly.
Okay. So have you ever seen an actual apparition when you're out there filming?
Yes.
Hmm.
Seen a few.
Two?
Like 3, maybe 4.
Was it just shadow figures or was it full body apparitions?
Well, the one at the juvenile facility in LA, that was my second one I saw. That one was it was crazy because I've never seen anything like it. It looked just like a person walking down a hallway in front of a window. And that part of the juvenile facility was completely locked up, and we didn't have access to it yet. So the guards that were there had it all locked up, and I thought for sure somebody was in there. I was 299% sure that what I saw walking across there was a person, and it wasn't. It was not human.
Do you think it was a juvenile?
He was kind of tall because that juvenile facility actually housed adult males too.
Huh.
Yeah, housed all, not just minors anymore. It was housing adults too at the same time. But the other one was at Goldfield.
That one was a good one, that Goldfield, the hotel.
Yeah, when I was running the camera systems, we had that whole building 2 weeks prior. We had a crew come in, and that place, they had totally blacked out everything. All windows, any holes that were in the building were black cloth. You had no sunlight in that place for 2 weeks prior to us getting there.
Wow.
And when I was running cameras on the 3rd floor is when I got the ever-loving shit scared out of me. So thought come from out of a doorway and just look at me from down the hall. And I never ran so fast down a set of stairs before in my life.
So you were like Aaron running at that time, huh?
I thought it was going to come out of that doorway and come after me. That's what I thought.
Do you think you come across any when you're out there most of the time, do you think you come across a lot of negative things? Do you think they're trying to harm,
That was the juvenile facility, most definitely. And quite a few places, yeah. I was on the verge of crying. I mean, I had been crying. It was just not comfortable. Not comfortable at all. Because you had that feeling like somebody's gonna just jump. It's just that nervous feeling. And there's been a few places I haven't had that,
Yeah.
But the main places, Zach and us Zach likes to investigate. They're not nice places.
I have that same shirt.
You sure? You got the new one?
I don't know if it has that on it, but I have the
What is
front
the
and
shirt?
behind.
What does it say? What is the
That's
shirt?
from where you go to the museum. I've been to Zach's museum twice.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Just got the new shirts too this year. So.
yeah.
So
She's been there twice. I haven't had a chance to go through it, but she's been there. And I wish he would allow you to like take pictures or do something like that. But
Yeah, I know.
yeah, unfortunately.
That,
so what can you tell me about that we don't know
that would
about?
take away from the curiosity of other people, because if people post something like that online, then people won't want to go see it themselves.
Never
Well,
thought
it's a
of
different
that.
experience when you see it on video versus in person. So it makes a huge difference.
And the new Bobby Mackey exhibit is off the hook.
Wait a minute. What? I haven't heard about this.
We just opened a new exhibit.
How did I miss that?
All the bits and pieces that Zach had gotten from Bobby Mackey's. It's a whole new experience. He's even got, he had the portal to hell that was in the basement. He had it dug up and around and shipped back.
Oh my goodness.
Everything is in the museum.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. He's really into all that really
Yes.
that crazy stuff. Like I said, I have a location that he would love. He'd fit right in there because there's a lot of haunted things. I could see him wanting this dragon portal table.
No,
Cassidy, you know what I'm talking about.
he would probably try to find a way to get it.
It's pretty amazing. It really is. Hello, everybody tuning in. I'm trying to pull up everybody that's there. Hello, you guys. Hello. We have a question from someone.
Go for it.
Can you see that question there, Jeff?
It says, do you have emotions and moods during your investigations influence how you feel and what you experience?
Well, if you get into a location, it's not, for me, it's what the energy is given off in the place. And I do tend to feel like that sometimes. There's sometimes that I just don't want to do it. There's times that my emotions are really, really high because of what is around me. But then once Zach comes in, it's like whatever's in there just attaches to him like a magnet. It pull you. You can actually feel it pulling away. Because hey, I've got better things to do. Sorry, you're nothing. I'm going over here, you know. But yeah, the mood does definitely change. It's not when you go in there. I mean, I'm always nervous when I go into a location, especially when I'm running the cameras. You know, everybody's like, you know, going around there. I said, you guys, I mean, come on. You know, when you're in there, you know, just running for the cameras, it's not like this thing's taking a break and waiting. You know, he's not having a cup of coffee in the corner or anything. It happens when I run cameras.
Yeah.
Why I wear a chest piece that's got my phone on it. It always records.
Yes.
You know?
What stories can you tell us about the museum that we don't know about?
Oh, just make sure you sign the waiver.
I've never really felt any spookiness in there.
Oh, there is. There is. It's not a good place.
Have you had anything attached to you, Jeff, and follow you after you've done these investigations?
Yes. My actually something twice. One time it came home with the gear. Actually all night long, certain pieces of gear that have to have it switched on and switched off were coming on and off in a case, and you could hear it. And my kid woke me up, and then one time I came back. It was from a mansion that we had just been to, and I wasn't feeling good on that episode because it was an older lady that like she just jumped on my back and took me for a ride. And when I got home, the residual part of it was still with me. And my kid, I was sleeping and I was real tired because after I get off the road, I'm like totally drained. It takes me a couple days to get my energy back. And I was sleeping in my room, and my kid came in and said, "Hey, Dad, you need to get up and come see this." So I went into the kitchen, and it was really weird because all the cupboard doors were open in the kitchen. And I'm like, what? I don't remember doing that. And she goes, "No, they opened up." And so we closed them all, and then we started hearing knocking on the walls, and it started getting really, really bad after that. And then I ended up having to call Billy, and he had to help me stage stuff.
Oh.
Hey, I'm so sorry, Mandy. My person that I was supposed to meet at 7 just jumped on. I gotta jump back off, but I may jump back on if I get done in time. So sorry. I gotta go. At least I got to say hi.
She's a ghost.
Bye.
Ghosting out.
Sorry. Gotta go. Bye.
Oh Lord, she's a businesswoman. But so, have you ever had like anything ever scratch you or anything when you're out there, Jeff?
Let's see. No, it was more of just like an attachment. They knew how vulnerable I was. So it was the fact that I didn't get, oh, I did get scratched on the back of my shoulder. And I sent, yeah, I got, I mean, it wasn't a big, but Zach always said, if anything happens, if anything, even after we're filming, you need to tell me, and I showed him that, and there was no really way you could get to it because it was like way up towards the middle on the upper part of my back.
Yeah.
And he had one too, and he's like, "Oh shit." So yeah, I believe I've been scratched. I can't 100% prove that, but it's mostly been emotional style of an attachment, or things like that.
Yeah.
Never had those feelings before in my life, but when they happened, it was crazy.
It is. It can be intense. Someone's got a question for you.
Have you ever had a chance to choose a location to go? No.
You don't
No.
get to choose. You don't even say, "Hey, I come across this new location."
Pick a card. No,
Pick a card.
these are predestined, scare the shit out of you style places. So no.
He doesn't like you guys to know, does he? He likes to just like, here we are.
I get to know what I sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It all depends. If I ask because I need to know, because if I'm working on a piece of equipment or whatever, I need to know what's going on in this place that maybe I can adjust and make this thing work at this location. So there's a couple times, but otherwise, no. It's like, okay. Oh, there's the email a day before I have to leave. Oh shit. Okay.
When he's ready, it's time to go. It's go time.
Oh,
Drop
that's
everything.
done.
This looks like it's your son on here.
It is my son. So remember the one at the house that woke up her what? Son, have you been drinking? No. You remember the one at the house that woke up her? God, son, I don't remember that. After you've been as many investigations as I have in the last 6 years, things tend to melt together. It's like one giant wax ball right now. So, I mean, you could take and dig in there and try and find a piece. Oh, I remember that one. I said, no, that one. Oh, that's a different color.
He says the EVP that was captured.
Oh, God, I don't remember that. But yeah, I remember because I had my daughter. She was like young at the time. And she wanted to help me look over some evidence. So we did some stuff downtown. And my daughter didn't go with me. It was me, but I was so much footage. She was like, "Let me get my computer, Dad. I'll help you." God, that was a long time ago. Yeah, I remember that. Caught a few EVPs.
Awesome. Someone else is asking, which one is the jumpers, Zach or Aaron?
They both are, but Aaron can jump a lot higher. If Aaron gets scared, I'll guarantee you better move out of the way because he's going to plow over you. He's got that Scooby-Doo thing going on. So you better move because you'll end up just trampled. It'll look like something out of a cartoon. It'll be horrible.
It's funny. I get jumpy like that too when I'm out there, and I don't mean to, but I get a lot of them like to come up to me, and they just, it startles me,
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I do that. I'm like, oh my God. And I don't mean to, I've actually had something happen to me at the Uber Shrine, and actually I didn't mean to take off, but I had to because the door that was behind us literally pushed in and pushed out and pushed in. And I had to remove myself from that area, but it startled me. I mean, I was out. I didn't leave the cave, but I had to leave from that area for sure.
I did have kind of a funny thing happen. I mean, I can only tell you a little bit about it. Me and Jay we were all investigating this hospital in LA, and me and Jay were going to do the bottom floor, and I had all the cameras on tripods, right? They were all running, just weird positioning, and I'm holding them. We were walking down the hallway. We were trying to find this one room. And the building is dilapidated, and all the electrical had been ripped out by the homeless, and ceilings were caving in. So some of the doors, I didn't get to really see them, but most of the doors had just debris in front of the doors.
Mm-hmm.
And we were walking down the hallway, and out of nowhere, this scared the ever-loving shit out of me. I mean, I'd never been so scared in my whole life. This door just on the left-hand side just goes wham!
Oh, hell no.
Across the hallway, right? I didn't even have a time to say shit, fuck, damn. All that could come out of my mouth was, oh, no, 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 no. As I'm running around the circle holding 5 cameras with tripods, trying not to drop them at the same time, but yet almost pissing my pants. And yeah, and Jay's like, what the fuck? It was crazy. That shit was so crazy. Oh my.
When moments like that come up, it gets intense out there. People, it's different because, we do a lot of lives. So people are watching us live. They're watching us when we're out there, everything's happening right then and there. But it's way different when you're actually in the field investigating than it is when you're just watching something like that. It's intense.
It is. It's insane. It's wow.
So I feel, just from watching the shows since they came out, I feel, and I know Zach never says this, but I can sense that he's very he's an empath, and I even feel he has medium abilities as well, because I'm a medium, and an empath, and I sense that with him. I'm like, he doesn't talk about that on the show, but he's doing everything that the mediums would do.
Exactly. He's a very open person like Aaron. When they go into the facility, they don't close themselves off because they want whatever's there. They want to know. And, when you go into a location like that and you close yourself off, it's really, it's iffy on what happens. That's the reason why Aaron and Zach are so jumpy and so open, because they want it to come in. They want to know.
Me too.
Shit, it's like playing Russian roulette, And I've seen some of the moods that Zach gets into. People are like, oh my God, he's blowing that total out of proportion. You guys don't understand at all what happens on these things. They leave themselves open. You can sit there and say to your own, what the fuck is going on? And you could see the change in those two. When we were at the Dos Padrinos, the juvenile facility, when this thing attached to me, and I was in the cell, I remember little bits and pieces, but when they pulled me out of that cell for the 3rd time, and I passed Zach, whatever was in me, you could feel it hit him, and it went from scared, and because I was feeling like no anger, but I was scared and to him. And once it hit him, it was pure anger.
Oh, wow.
And you could see it. I mean, if you could just see it, it was like me handing him a piece of equipment, but I brushed up against him, and it goes, whoa, this guy's got a hell of a lot more energy than you do, and I'm going to have fun with it. And it hit him, and that's all it took. You know, there's a lot of, geez.
There's quite a few questions here. So somebody's asking, do you ever call on a priest?
Zach has a few times, yes, on locations where people have been oppressed by this entity, especially, you know,
And
on
then,
investigation. There's only been a few times that I have seen it because I haven't been there that long. You know, 5.5 years is a long time, but you know, they do have priests and people, or we will actually send them to somebody or call a priest to have them help them afterwards. But yeah, um, yeah.
someone's asking, do you guys think about doing a show with ghost hunters?
No, we never. No, I don't know. I don't know what Zach has planned. I never have any um, say or anything and stuff like that. You know.
So have you been to any of the Paracons or anything?
No, no. Keep to myself a lot. You know, I don't go and I don't go out much. This is actually probably with you would probably be my second interview. I don't normally do interviews. I don't. I'm basically just I'm that guy that hides. You know, every once in a while you see me on the show, but I don't.
I don't know if I'm going to ask you though, but I don't think I ever seen this, but did Zach ever isolate you?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed that one, or maybe I did see it and I'm just not
Out
remembering.
yet. It's not out yet.
Oh, so it's coming out, huh? Huh.
It was very scary.
Okay. So we can expect some more episodes coming up.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, we're on a little vacation, so you know, we start filming here pretty soon again.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all the shares. Yeah. Wow. So again, I've been seeing your videos on Facebook where you're making this really cool device with the face. Is it an AI thing you're doing or what?
Well, it's mainly gestures. It's kind of a trigger object. You know, it didn't start out to be that way. This is the shit that happens to me when I go on an extended leave or like a vacation. I start building and things start happening.
You just get inspired from just things popping in your mind, or are you just trying to do something different?
Always. And it ended up, it was just going to be, you know, a device that kind of works like, you know, you speak to it, it talks back, and it will be, you know, kind of like a Android head. But now I decided, you know, what if I integrated EMF into the system and worked through a control board and worked with Raspberry Pi or Arduino and have it own control and would communicate on a certain frequency or multiple frequencies at the same time. And at the same time, it would record back if it heard anything, you know, but EMF is what triggers it.
Mm-hmm.
Up to that area, you know, whatever the strongest area of EMF, it would look towards it, and then it would communicate. So that's what's, you know, it's going to happen. It's just going to take time.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it. Someone's got a question. This is Mandy and Jeff. Have you ever been to Australia or would like to? P.S. Kangaroo are not that scary.
Right. No, never been there. Nope.
They want to know, when are you going to Indianapolis?
As I said before, I am so blind when it comes to locations. You know,
Yeah.
it's Zach and a few other people who are location finders. And then once it's set, then right at the end, that's when we get, yay, let's go. You know, but Zach's the only one that'll know where it is. He likes to leave it kind of, you know, scary closed type thing until you get there or you're on your way. One of the two.
Huh. Another question. Have you guys ever been to the Hannah House in Indiana?
They probably have. This was probably before my time. So most of the places I've been with them, I mean, I've been all over the United States, especially with house calls. But, and that's all driving, by the way. So I've driven from California all the way to New York.
Wow.
Oh, no, it's fun. Oh, no, the snow blizzards are fun. Oh, no, the black ice is even better. Yeah. You know those cartoons where you see the boom and slap on your back? What was this right here? 6 years old. I thought it was rain. Nope, was not rain.
You got to watch out for that black ice.
And I flipped up. Soda flew in the air. Everything was like at 4 a.m. Yeah. I was like, nope. If I had pushed my van with my finger, it probably would have slid across the parking lot.
Yeah, that Ohio has a lot of weird weather. We never know. I think sometimes, I don't know. It seems like winter's getting longer here, and then the summers are getting shorter. It's really weird.
Sounds like a song.
Yeah, there probably is a song, I'm sure. So, where do you see yourself from here? Do you? I mean, is there more to come from Ghost Adventures? Can you
Oh,
can you
yeah.
tell us?
There's a lot more. A lot more. A lot more.
New exciting things?
Huh?
I know you can't say too much. So, is there like new exciting places out of the what we wouldn't expect?
Oh, yes. Much. Yeah. Oh, God. It's going to be insane.
I can't wait. I love the spooky stuff.
You know, we have a backlog of some episodes that we're trying to get taken care of. And,
Yeah.
you know, things have happened and, we're just taking, we did a lot of filming. So now we have a little bit of vacation and try to get our bearings, and then we're going back at it.
So I see that on August 20th, I believe it's August 20th, the new episodes come out. It's house calls.
Yes.
So are you on that too?
I am now.
Okay. Now, are they going to continue house calls?
As far as I know, yes.
Really? Because I thought it was canceled. I thought they weren't going to do it no more.
No.
Oh wow.
We had filmed 2 more seasons, and we got our second season coming out, and we're more after that. And then
Wow. I was wondering because I just heard through the grapevine, good source that I thought, but maybe they didn't get that info. But now I know you guys filmed at the Bill Manor here in Fremont, Ohio.
Yeah.
So I heard from the owner, Carlos. I've been to the Bill Manor like 3 times, 4 times. We just did a event there. I think it was last weekend or the weekend before. But Carlos has told me that you guys ended up capturing something really cool in that basement. I don't want to give it away, but I hear it was pretty good.
It was extremely good. I mean,
now that was in Ohio. Was that the only one that you guys did in Ohio? Was that one, or is there another one in Ohio?
I know there's a couple in the surrounding areas. We've been all over through there. And when that happens, those things are like, let's go. We got to get in there, find out what it is, get it on tape, and then tell them, yay, if you want this done, we can sage your home. We can send a priest in, do what you got to do. But house calls is a whole other entity. That's where Aaron can go crazy and do his thing, and it's just awesome to work with in both series. And see, originally I wasn't supposed to be a part of that, and I was just the guy who put the gear up in there and then took off for the night.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're like, "Hey, Jeff, come here, hold." I was like, "I'm not." What?
He was slowly working you in there. That's what he was doing.
I think so.
I think he was. It sounds like he was.
I love Lauren. Lauren is the most amazing person. She
fits right in there.
Yeah, and I've got to work with her. Well, even behind the scenes because of her cameras and stuff. We've got to become very good friends, and even on the show, on house calls, when they had me in there just a few more times, we got to work together on a few episodes, and she is an amazing person. So
they're saying all kinds of stuff in the chats. I'm just they're saying you need to tell Aaron he needs to come on here with you. They said you rock, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff is pretty cool. I mean, it's my first time actually talking to him, but I've been friends with him for a little bit on Facebook.
I know, right?
Yeah, I see you. Yeah.
Well, I don't come on social media much, and when I started coming back on is when I started posting about the Android thing.
Yeah, and that's fine. And but do you see like, let me see here. Do you see them like bringing on different people onto the shows? Are they going to keep using like the same mediums and psychics? Are they going to do anything different there?
It could. I don't know what Zach has on his mind when he does it, but he has done local before. Like if we've been to other places, they have found local mediums to come in, and like we had Matt Rife on there. We've had a few other people, and Jonathan from Korn. That guy is spiritual, so it was like having a special guest who had an open mind to where we were at and what we were doing. And he tends to bring people on. So
yeah, I see, and I see a lot of these people. He's like, "We're gonna put you over here. You gotta do this." I love doing. You know what? When I first started doing paranormal investigations, I would not do an isolation. I said no. And then I was like, I need to start doing these.
no, it's like he wouldn't say anything throughout the whole time that I'm setting up all the gear. Okay, nothing. I'd be working my ass off putting 26 cameras around this house and setting all the cables in and getting the monitor set up, getting all the gear out, checking all the batteries. And just as I'm, okay, I'll talk to you guys after. I'm going to take off. We got to lock you in. And he goes, hey, wait. And I turn around and he goes, want to investigate with us? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Okay, well, how do you feel about going into a basement by yourself? And that's when you see Aaron on the side going, doing his weird dad. Yeah, it's not me. It's not me. It's you. Shit like that. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
Well, isolations are good though. That's good because especially when you're not expecting it and you're in the dark, you can't see anything. And
it's only about this big though, and a little IR light in front of it. But you're like, is that a shot? What is that? By that time it's already right in your face. But yeah, no, being alone, no good.
What's the scariest place where he's isolated you?
They've done that to me twice. The scariest place is actually back in LA. It was in a basement, and I can't talk about that one too much either because that one's another episode that haven't been out yet. But that one scared me, and I got a call saying that, hey, you caught something. You caught something that was unbelievable on film. And I was like, I thought for sure in that 3-inch little monitor that it was a full-size figure standing up against the wall in the corner of the basement. And now I know it was.
Oh,
because
wow.
shit that happened to me in that basement and with what I caught with a few objects on the floor. But yeah, no, that was a bad one. That was the one I was by myself. You know, I could talk more about it, but I can't get into it because it hasn't been aired yet.
Yeah. Jeff, do you guys always end up going to these places with the darker energy? Do you ever just go to your typical just spirits, you know?
Well, yeah, we did one, and again, back in that part of LA, it was up in the mountains. It was a mansion that was a kind of a hospice type thing, and a lot of old people, and that's the one that attached to me that came home with me. Um, it wasn't the fact that it was a bad person. It was the fact that it was a lady who was, this place had never been investigated. Okay. And um, we were trying to communicate, and it's just like if you were to walk into a place and somebody hasn't talked to somebody in over 50 years, and they're like, "You're speaking to me?" You know,
Yes.
oh my God, I want to communicate. That's what happened. Okay. It wasn't the fact that it was evil and took me over. It was the fact that it was like, I didn't know I could do this. Whoa, what's going on here? I'm communicating. Why is happening here? And it was that episode that says, "Are you ready?" on the polterpod. On the polterpod. That was what blew all of our minds. It's like, here we go. And the polterpods and the polterpod said, "Are you ready?" And it was insane. It was just so much communication and things like that. I mean, we don't get a lot of places that are bad like that, but we do look for those, you know.
Do you think people bring that out, Jeff, or do you just think it's the places you guys are going to?
Well, some places have negative energy,
Mhm.
and fed off of it for so many years that once you're inside there, it's like, hey, I'm hungry. Here's my fork and my knife. We're going to go into this thing. You know, it's like they feed off of it. They do. There's bad energy. There's bad things out there.
Well, I'm a firm believer how you are in this life is how you are when you become a spirit.
Exactly. You know, but there's also some things that were never life. They were
Yes.
human, but they feed off of the people who were alive that are no longer alive. You know, there's been a lot of theories on that. And you know, yeah, I think there are some bad things out there, and they feed off the living as well as the deceased. You know,
Well, this place in Bristol, Tennessee, the Ura Shrine, like I said, it has a little bit of everything. I mean, this place is there. There's rituals practiced there. I mean, the dragon portal table itself it had each layer was engraved by people who did different rituals, and he allowed them to come in
exactly.
and huh?
But you know, you can be, you know, what this place at one certain time in the past, let's say in the 1800s, was like a place people came to, you know, have a good time. You know, and then as this place became dilapidated and people were like getting in there and making rituals and, you know, sacrifice, you know, it could change any scenario from total positive to just negative and bring in shit
Mm-hmm.
they know nothing about and cause havoc.
Mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't leave. And when it doesn't leave, then, you know, it feeds off what's around it. So
Well, anything is welcomed at this location, and there was already bad spirits there before the owner got it because it was his family that owned it, and his uncles that owned it. They were not nice people, and so you have them type of spirits. You have actual witches that are spirits. You have elementals. You have non-human things. I mean, there is some dark things here. I had something follow me from this place, Jeff, and this thing caused havoc on me for a week. I had bad luck all week. I, yeah, I mean, but it was just crazy. I ended up getting I hit an animal on the way to work in my new car. Everything was just bad. And I had this thing crawling in my bed, growling at me. This thing would not quit growling at me. And I was hearing knocks in my house. My covers were moving. And
well,
my husband, who's a skeptic, he actually seen it, witnessed to himself the covers, you know, and he was like, "What's going on here?" I said, I told you the covers will not quit moving. And I have to leave now because I got to go to work. And
Got to,
he couldn't sleep for
And-
4 hours because the covers.
was it in the middle of summertime?
Was it in the summertime?
Yeah.
When this happened, yes.
I would have told him, hey, if you're going to move the covers, plan them a little bit more. It's hot in here.
But it was scary. That was. And he has a lot of haunted objects there. What's your take on these objects? Do you believe that things can attach to haunted objects?
I believe so. You
Yeah.
know, got a new. Well, I can't say much about the new exhibit that's at the museum, but it has to do with a haunted object that we did on a episode that we pulled out of this house, and I will not. I didn't even go into the exhibit when I was there last week.
Or do you think you're real sensitive to the energies?
Oh, what had happened to me on set and one of the PAs on set when we were setting up equipment. I won't go in the room at this at the museum.
Can you tell us?
Can't.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I mean, this doll is on exhibit at the museum right now.
Wow.
Yeah, that one was a bad one. That one was interesting.
Do you have any haunted objects, Jeff?
Have I?
Do you own any?
No. I bring home enough of it in the gear. I don't want any. I mean, I brought home something and I was like, well, this could be interesting. I could test some of my new gear on it. No, it left. You know, but no, I don't want any. I mean, it was bad enough getting the attachment when I got home. You know, it's some attachments were like a battery. You know, after a while, it just kind of died down and disappeared. You know, it was like it was built up energy left over. And then there was one that didn't leave that, you know, Billy had to help me with. But no, I don't need any attachments. Even the place where I live, the management said, don't bring that shit here. We don't want to scare the neighbors.
But
That's not going to be my fault. God.
I know, and my husband blames me. He blames me for all this stuff that goes on around here. No, he works in law.
Well, he should.
He works in law enforcement, and I used to work with him in law enforcement, and I know darn well he's got things following him from there to here.
Yeah, he doesn't even realize it at the time, you know.
Yeah. So, I was like, I had a question I was going to ask you. Now, you said when you were younger, that's kind of like what got you interested in what you do now because of what your family experienced.
Yeah.
It must have been pretty traumatic.
Yeah, it was, you know, because out of all the research I've done over the years on the paranormal, and most of the time, I've gotten a lot of people who their first experiences was when they were young, 12, 13 years old. And it did happen to me. It did. It happened to my brothers as well as my mother and my stepfather. But it mainly came after me and my younger brother. And this thing, it was horrible. It was.
Was it something like you think it was really evil?
Out of a movie, I could write a book on it, but it had red eyes.
I hear a lot about these red eyes.
And I had a walk-in closet in my bedroom. And I remember it because, I mean, some strange shit was happening. You're 12 years old. It's back in like the late 70s. And you don't think of crap like that. Nobody knows that things are haunted and you could have things happen like that in your house. I said, shit, the last time I ever, you know, what set with me through the whole thing is after that happened and I moved back to California, the first thing I'd ever seen on TV was Leonard Nimoy's In Search Of when I was a kid. And it still sticks with me to this day because it had the same effect on me as what it had on the person, apparently the ghost in the closet. the demon in the closet that scared this woman to death, and she was so paralyzed and scared to death that she still showed her scary face of something that had walked out of the closet, scared the shit out of her, and walked back in it. And that episode stuck with me to this day, as well as what happened to me in that house. And I mean, it pulled my stepbrother's arm out of socket, broke mirrors.
Oh my gosh, Jeff.
I wasn't, I don't like to talk about it too much, but
Yeah.
I had all the Star Wars figures. I had most of the ships when I was a kid. And I used to keep them in that closet. And I got scared because I still have the comic book inside my comic book collection. I still have the crinkled pages of when I was gripping it. I looked up because this thing I was hearing noises throughout there, and the closet door was just that far open, maybe that far. And I just happened to look up, and I see these, like, I don't know how to explain, orangish red, but they were doing, kind of looking at, trying to get, coming closer to the door, and then they went back into the darkness. And I froze. I turned completely pale white. And my stepbrother was on his bed just on the other side. He saw what was going on with me. And he's like, "What?" And I was crying, and I pointed. He jumped up, went to the closet, didn't open the door, but he looked in and then jumped back because he saw the eyes. And then he was like this, "Come on, motherfucker. Come on out of that closet. Come on."
He was
And
ready to go to battle.
the closet door slammed shut, and it sounded like an explosion. It was like somebody had taken just a shit ton of rocks and just threw them in the closet. And you could hear them banging off of everything. And my mom and dad ran upstairs, came into the room, and was like, "What's going on in here?" And we're both pointing at the closet. And when they opened up the closet door, turned the light on, it was something that I will never forget. It was all my Star Wars figures, all my planes were just ripped apart. Legs were ripped off the figures. Planes were crushed. Space, everything was crushed. And it was laying in a perfect circle in the center of the closet floor. There wasn't a piece out of place in that circle. And we got grounded for it because they thought we had did it. So, but there was a lot more stuff that happened in that house than just that. And if I get into it too much more, then that's when I start having the nightmares. And I don't really.
So, but would you say it was the land, or was there someone that lived there prior that was?
Well, we found out that there must have been some type of ritual stuff going on in this house, because when you go upstairs, the whole hallway was 12 by 12, like mirrors all the way around it, and behind the mirrors was black paint. And my older brother's room was red, but they had wallpaper on the wall to cover up the red. And it was just dark colors and dreary colors, and found out that, people had done Satanism there. And now I knew now I know.
Yeah.
My mom got this 2-story house for so cheap for rent. And, and it was a bad scenario. Last night we were there, we all ended up sleeping in the van. We were sleeping in my stepfather's van. I couldn't go back in that house.
That's like something like Amityville stuff there. That's crazy.
Puppets sitting up on beds, basement doors swinging open and slamming my little brother in the face. Just it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So what do you think about the Estes method? I noticed you guys never do anything like that on the show.
Oh, I mean, I don't know why they don't, but I mean, it to each is their own.
Yeah.
I don't mind that method.
You like that method?
You communicate. I mean, no, we did do that actually.
Did you?
Back, we did do that.
Huh.
That at a hotel when me and Jay were in the basement. Zach and them were doing it in the bedroom upstairs, and that's when the clock flipped off the back. Doors opened up next door. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Zach did do that.
Okay. And I've also noticed that he's using the cat balls. I've never seen him use the cat balls, and now he's
Toss
using them.
those to the table. We don't use those anymore. But
Oh, really?
yeah, because I've made some static balls and things like that now, so it's totally off that.
So you enhanced it. You did it differently.
Yeah, I did a little bit different, but then those batteries, once they start dying down, they don't work anymore. They barely got anything going on with them. And to change the batteries, you got to rip the whole unit apart to pop the new batteries in. By the time you do that, you got 40 of these cat balls. You know how much those little watch batteries cost? That's like almost the whole episode. There's 3 of them per little ball. No, we want recharging shit. No, I don't want to keep replacing batteries. I got enough batteries here.
I've never
my
seen
whole neighborhood with all the batteries I got.
I've never seen him use that before. And then I started seeing him when he was investigating a school, and I see these cat balls. I'm like, oh, he's using cat balls now. I was like, oh, that's cool. Something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It was interesting when this thing was communicating back with those balls on the floor in a line. And I was like, wow. It was like, and he's taking the camera, he's touching, it takes motion, but he's showing everybody that it doesn't do electromagnetic fields. It's all motion. And he's trying to make them going off. And they're not. But then all of a sudden they start coming on one by one, like they're following him. I'm like, no freaking way. Come on.
Who do you think gets the most activity when they're out there?
It's kind of it's like a tie because they both are at different spots, and Zach is getting it just as much as Aaron. And it all depends on if Jay is with Aaron and Billy is with Zach. It gets just crazy at both ends. It doesn't matter as long as you've got the 2 antennas in either one, because we'll call Aaron and Zach the antennas. Okay, we'll call Billy and Jay the receivers. Jay's on the receiving end of a few things from Aaron, and yeah. Poor
So, somebody says, how does your little brother feel about you ghost hunting?
How does my little brother? Oh, he loves it. They watch my stuff, and they knew I was going to be doing stuff like this, but
Isn't it funny how because you don't just wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to be a paranormal investigator. At least I didn't, but I had experiences since I was young, 9 and 10, and my whole life, crazy stuff. And then I was drawn into the mediumship, and then I'm starting a team.
My thing is when you talk about the paranormal, paranormal is things that you can't explain.
Yes.
Most of the time that when things happen to young people, they happen to them at a young age. And, if you're in a home where you've been closed off and taught to think like there's nothing like that exists.
Yep.
You're going to grow up and know that and never experience anything like that, because when you're young, your head's like a sponge and you continue to gather knowledge. It depends on what area you want to go in. Now, if things happen to you when you're young, then you tend to go, whoa, what's that? And as you get older, you want to know what that is. But if you're in a scenario where you grow up and never have that experience, then you're not going to believe it until it actually happens, and then you're still not going to believe it.
Yes.
Most of the time, it happens when you're young.
Yeah, it does, and that's what had happened to me. I was experiencing this at a young age, and then throughout my life, it kept increasing. I used to think, is it me or is it just wherever I'm going?
Yeah, no. No. I mean, stuff that I've done on my own and all the EVPs that I've ever caught on my own, I mean, I thought that I had heard and seen it all. And then I get hired by these guys. And no, that just blows everything that I have ever had on my computer underneath my desk. That's nothing. That's like a bag of saltine crackers compared to a bag of Ritz. Um, it's I will never, ever, truly, ever understand why these things happen, but I am trying to figure out if I can capture these things happening.
Yes.
But I mean, I could say it's amazing, but it's scary, scary amazing. It's, I mean, I don't think I would ever give it up, ever. You're going to find me in a wheelchair with a 2-stroke motor on it going through old abandoned hospitals with a whole bunch of cameras sticking off the side of my vehicle as I'm going. I don't think I'll ever stop. I won't. Uh-oh. Did we freeze? Yep. Gone. That's the host.
Are you there?
Yes. Yeah.
There's a bad storm going on out here. So that's crazy. There's a bad storm right now. And I'm like, oh no. So yeah, I probably only got a few minutes with you. I don't want it because we got Starlink here in the country.
It's gonna bolt the lightning. It's gonna hit that satellite dish. It's gonna.
Oh my gosh, that'd be my luck. But I wanted, real quick, and I think we can hopefully pull it off. Have you ever had a encounter other than spirits, like a cryptid or anything like that?
I have seen a UFO.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming.
And it was going to the very first investigation with my best friend Scott to see Zach and show him my new piece of equipment.
You got time to tell us real quick?
After the episode was over, we were driving down this windy desert shit, just going around corners. But I look off to the left and see this huge, bright ball orange light just hovering over a hill. And I look at my buddy Scott and I go, stop, dead in the middle of the road. This is on a bend. This is right on the turn. And he's like, you need to keep moving. We're going to die, type scenario. So I'm pulled forward and I look back and it's still there. And he's like, what the hell? And I look at him and I look back and it's gone. I saw a UFO. That's all I can say is unidentified flying object.
Was it the typical saucer looking?
No, it was just a bright orange glowing ball. It was huge. It was huge.
Really? I've heard a lot of people say that, that with glowing things following them and then just seeing weird things in the sky.
Because it was out in the middle of the desert. We were the only car driving back at the time. So it was like we had our own set of lights. So this thing had lights and was probably looking at us going, what was that? Curving down on the ground. And as we're looking up going, what's that? And then they take off because they get scared. That's probably what happened.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That is crazy. Wow.
A couple of ghosts at the same time. I got to see a UFO. Who can have that all happen in one night?
You know what? You're the first. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone doing that.
I just broke a world's record for seeing 2 things at once.
Yes, you did. Where was that again? Where was you at? You said
that was at Virginia City Mine. What was it? I can't remember the name of the place. I'll remember it, but it was a mine, and Zach had been there in 2010. And Vulture City Mine.
Oh, okay. Isn't that over in Las Vegas or somewhere around there?
I think Arizona. I think.
Okay.
And yeah, I had to go there. It took me 12 hours to drive that. So yeah, it was a ways.
Now, do you have a favorite state that you love to go do your investigations with everyone? Is there a certain
in Arizona are beautiful, just the rock formations and everything and all the history and the Indian land, and just amazing to be there. And you just to be up close and see the hieroglyphics, see the paintings on the walls. It's amazing to see these things.
It is. It is. I can
Go
imagine. I've been through.
5 miles of caves and hoping not to get lost. Yeah.
What's your thought on the like the Dog Man, or what's the other one that
Losing you.
call it Wendigo?
Which one was that?
The Wendigo or Dog Man?
Oh, yeah. Zach searched for him quite a bit. Searched
Really?
for Goatman Bridge. That was one of the episodes. And Skinwalkers is mainly who we were going after. We were looking for at the time. But he's had a couple. It was before my time, so there was a few.
Wow. Yeah.
Years.
I've seen some of the videos where they went into the caves and they met with the Native Americans and they drank something or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
they were a little loopy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
They were really like loopy or something, man. It was crazy. That was crazy, but it was cool. You know, they experienced that where they were. But anyhow, Jeff, I really appreciate you taking the time and coming out of your little shell and talking to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back in my shell now. We'll talk to you later.
Do you have a place, a website? Do you sell your equipment? Can people go buy anything?
Not right
No?
now. Not right now.
Okay. Do you see in the future?
Sometimes I sell it. It's the exact. If it gets on the show and Zach likes it, then it stays. If he doesn't like it, then I'll be like, okay, I'll sell it.
Awesome. Well, I really enjoyed you coming on here, and I'm looking forward to see some more stuff from Ghost Adventures. I love it. I love the spookiness.
I'm looking forward to seeing more stuff from them too.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on, everybody. You guys get ready for the new episode that's coming out, right? It comes out actually. That's tomorrow, right? House calls
today.
The 19th.
Okay, then there you go. It's tomorrow.
It is the 20th. Yep. Awesome.
That's an insanely crazy episode because they drugged me in on that one. I was like, what the fuck? So, yeah.
Which episode are we going to see you on all the house calls or just?
I was just on a few. So.
Okay.
Slowly, but yeah, I'm there. This one, most definitely. It was crazy with the shit happening in this house. It was unbelievable.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to get outside.
I'll have to crack open some wine and kick back and watch it.
Oh, yeah, watch it. It definitely crazy.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys for being here. And I am ghosting out. Hey, I want to. I'm ghosting out. I gotta talk to you real quick if you don't mind, just a couple minutes. All right, guys. Thank you, guys.
Can't say anything in front of them. Okay.